So you know that friend that's always prepared, like they have tissues and snacks, and they're the one that makes a list if you and your friends are going on a day trip? She's the mom friend. I am not that friend. I am the opposite of that friend. I'm the friend that instantly turns all my friends into moms. I'm the child of the group. I'm always confused. I never know what's happening. And on multiple occasions, my friends have had to stop me from walking into traffic. I'm a mess. Now, we could go around all day trying to figure out why I'm such a mess, but unfortunately, I do not have weeks up here. So instead, I'm just gonna go ahead and blame my family. First off, there's my sister. Now for a while, she tried to be the responsible one, but really that just led her to being constantly embarrassed by us. So eventually she just gave into the chaos that is my family, which has led her to doing things like continuing to ski, even though she had a broken arm that was in a cast, and just like putting a sock over the fingers that were sticking out of it. So she went down the mountain with like one pole and one sock hand. Or the time when she was climbing a mountain with her friends in Yellowstone, and when she went after her water bottle that she had dropped, created a little rock slide around her, which led her to popping out her shoulder, and then she just had her friend pop it back in before continuing up the mountain. She's definitely not the responsible one anymore. Then there's the younger of my two older brothers. Now, you know when you say you're always down to fight? Yeah, he actually was. He once beat up a guy his own age because he stole my slushie. He's definitely someone you want on your side. Like, even with his friends, if they were mean to me or my siblings, he'd fight them. But he's also the type of guy who makes sure his friend gets to the hospital, even though earlier that night his friend accidentally got him roofied by giving him shots he had randomly found on the bar, because he thought that was a good idea. It's not. Don't do that. But really, my brother is just like a dog. Like, he's loyal, he has a lot of hair, and if someone threatens his people, he'll fight them. Finally, there's my oldest brother. Now, he's been leading me and my siblings on adventures for as long as I can remember, which has led us to doing things like jumping out of a second-story window onto a trampoline, hatcheting a tree until a bunch of bees came out and stung mostly him, and doing what I like to call exploring, but other people like to call trespassing, more times than I can count. He's either a bit of a reclusive computer nerd, or he's pioneering the way to adventures that most people would think were a terrible idea. And they'd be right. I mean, even a couple months ago, he had a bunch of his friends, our sister, and his 70-year-old neighbors come over to his house for what he liked to call a car party, which largely consisted of everyone jumping on top of his car. Yeah, it hasn't looked the same since. He definitely still leads us in being a mess. So, after years without them, I'm a girl with 1,000 stories and tons of things you wouldn't know about me. Like, the first time I rode shotgun, I was 7, and throughout the entire ride, my mom just kept shouting, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!" And I was just like, "Mom, calm down, it's fine." But she was probably more freaking out at the fact that I had snapped both bones in my left arm so that it went at a 45-degree angle from the rest of my arm. But who knows? Or the time that I accidentally flashed a lot of people in middle school. Yeah, I went to Pelican Harbor with some soccer teammates, went off the diving board, somehow didn't realize my top had come up, came out, they laughed, and were like, "Go back in," and I was like, "Okay." This time I realized my top was up though. Don't worry, I got that down, put it down, came out, and they were like, "Your top was up." And I was like, "This is a great team building activity." But there are some things I didn't realize about myself until this year. Like the fact that I actually do stand up for myself and the people I care about, to the point where I was actually looked to by some of my friends to stand up to some jerks for them. or how I go outside of my comfort zone all the time. And I kind of do it for fun. For instance, I hate public speaking. It terrifies me. But for some reason I came onto this stage. I haven't figured that one out yet. Thank you. And I realize I make bad decisions, but I never really slow me down. And I have to acknowledge the giant impact my siblings have had in me becoming who I am. They're idiots, but they're also the people I share so many stories and qualities with. And I'm not just talking about the fact that every broken bone we've gotten is caused by our clumsiness, and usually a tree. I'm more of talking about the fact how we take group SOS, or sick of school days together, and how they took me on top of my elementary school's roof when I was 8. How we never really learned to take life too seriously. Like, I love them. That's really the main point. And there aren't as many mistakes without them, or for any of us now that we're all grown and separated. But we're all still messes. And I don't think we'll ever really learn how to be normal, because we never learned how to do that in the first place. So, I'm a mess. And I don't really care. I'm having more fun anyway.